You all set back there? John Bohannon, of course, the man who created our 55 SS body, also fabbed up this custom hoist that uses 2 electric winches. It's going to make mounting that body to the frame a snap.
Plus, it'll help prevent any damage to the fiberglass body and the paint on the chassis. Looks pretty good. Let's get it over there.
All right, here we go. Right there, I think.
The body attaches to the frame from the inside using 3.5-inch bolts.
Well, there it is all together. Tell you what,
Man, that was fascinating. Now, at this stage of the build, how many man-hours would you say that you guys had in it?
Well, I'd say easily about 400. You know, it's kind of funny, but people always tease us about making this work on TV look easy. Well, in reality, there's a tremendous amount of behind-the-scenes work that goes on to pull off a project like this. However, compared to many, it was not that tough a build.
And what would the tab on one of these fiberglass bodies be?
Well, the chop-top body, the hood, trunk, inner fenders, all the fiberglass pieces set you back about 13 grand, which is not bad when you consider you could spend several grand just to chop the top on a steel body.
Well, we're getting there. Next step, more body work as Project Chevy SS gets closer to completion.
In 1955, the first Chevy small block bristled with engineering advances, like pedestal rocker arms, integral valve guides, and expansion-controlled pistons. But ironically, it lacked an oil filter.
Today's great build of the 55 Chevy is presented by B.F. Goodrich Performance Tires.
Welcome back to Great Builds, where the ultimate 55 Chevy Street Machine is coming together. Now, Mike, when you first started off on this build, you were still just a rookie at horsepower. Were you expecting to tackle a project this big?
Oh yeah, you know, a build like this is really involved, but to end up with a high-tech 55 like this is well worth the effort.
High-tech and potent.
Oh, you bet. This Ramjet 502 from GM Performance is the perfect crate engine for a 3,400-pound full-size car like this. It makes 565 foot-pounds of torque at 3,200 RPM, which is pretty stout. Plus, it's fuel injected, so the car is also very drivable. We have a little saying over in the horsepower shop: when in doubt, drop in a big block. So we took our own advice and turned our 55 into a baby boomer on steroids.
Nice. Now, Mike, a lot of Power Black viewers want to know what a car like this costs. What are their options?
Well, you can buy a turnkey one from Bohannon for about $70,000, or do like we did it. Buy all the components for $35,000, do all the work yourself. Now, it'll save you about half. It's still pretty expensive, but it is an investment.
An investment, all right. I know if I had one of these, I wouldn't want to sell it, though. Now, what's next?
Next up, building power windows, air conditioning, and hanging the front end.
By now, the Horsepower 55 SS build is well past the halfway mark. A project that started with an Art Morrison GT Sport Classic chassis, designed with 21st century technology for the shoebox, which originally came with a frame that came up way short in the area of torsional stiffness. The Horsepower guys added a Currie Track 9 rear end, a strange coil-over suspension, Wilwood brakes with 13-inch rotors and 6-piston calipers up front. And for power, dropped in a GM Performance Parts 502 big block backed by a TCI 4L80E tranny. The exhaust is a 2.5-inch Flowmaster system with Hush power mufflers. Then they made it a true roller with Nostalgia GT wheels. And the BF Goodrich G-Force TA-KDW complements this build and the wheels they're mounted on. Later, they added a front runner accessory drive that comes with a water pump, alternator, and mini compressor for the AC. Plus, they fabbed up some Pure Choice brake lines and ran them along with new fuel lines. Then they dropped the fiberglass body onto the frame using a special 2-motor hoist John Bohannon made just for this kind of heavy lifting.
Today we're going to finish mounting the doors, which, like the body, were both fabricated at Bohannon Concepts. Now this is the passenger side inner door skin we're going to be using. Now back in '55, power windows were a pricey option and they added a lot of weight to the car. So this kit we got from Specialty Power Windows uses a lighter, more compact motor and regulator. And the vintage glass is solid tempered, so it's pretty much shatterproof. And it's one piece, so we don't have to use a vent window. This is a lot easier than it looks. First, lay the felt strip into place, then determine the length of your runner. And simply glue it into place. We recommend epoxy or even Bondo. Next, we can slide the window into place and bring it down to its lowest point. Then line the regulator up with the base plate and mark it just above the window 3/8 of an inch. With the unit bolted to the door and the window in place, raise it to its highest position before tightening it down. Of course, the kit does come with the window buttons, but we're not going to install those until we're ready for our wiring. Now all we need to do is glue on our outer door skin and cut our hole in our window.
All right, got that last bolt?
Yep, it started. Now installing a door is a lot like installing a hood. First, bolt it up loosely for a test fit. Oh, and here's a tip. Don't forget your shims. I'm installing several in between the hinge and the door to get a precise fit.
Oh, great job. Perfect fit. Now, what do you say we take care of the missing link to our disc brake setup, which is this master cylinder booster assembly we got from Kugel Components. And of course, as always, we're going to mount it right here on the firewall, right? Wrong. Check this out. John Bohannon came up with this removable dash top, and well, that's going to make installation of these components and others a whole lot easier. The assembly mounts on a couple of brackets located inside the firewall and here on the dash. While the front clip is still off the car, now's a good time to install a steering column to work with our AGR rack and pinion. Now, this one came from Flaming River. It's a 35-inch piece with tilt. And check this out. For safety, it's designed to collapse on impact. While sliding the column into place, we can attach it to the steering shaft. Then we can secure the column to the dash and the firewall mounts.
That was the easy part. Now, of course, we still need to wire it up, but we'll finish that when we take care of our main harness.
I tell you, I'm dying to see the shoebox with the front end bolted up, but you know, first we need to finish up our fuel delivery system by bolting up this stainless steel tank we got from Classic Chevy. Now, this one holds 18 gallons of fuel, and it's designed for all shoeboxes that have been fitted with late model fuel injection like ours. Of course, it comes with an intake pump and these stainless straps that should make installation pretty easy.
Fuel injection wasn't available in a Chevy until the '57 Corvette came along. So the original 16-gallon Bel Air tank contained only a fuel feed line and a gauge connected to a fuel screen. That was the mid-50s version of a fuel filter. Oh, and in the new V8, premium gas was optional, although recommended.
With that installed, all we need to do is wire up our internal pump, but we'll take care of that when we install our main harness. Now it's time to put a face on this project. And we'll do that with this 4-piece fiberglass front end from Bohannon Concepts. Now it includes this lightweight fiberglass hood, inner fender wells, and this 1-piece front clip. And to dress everything up, we got our reproduction grille, end moldings, headlight bezels, and parking lamps from Classic Chevy. Inside the fenders are these custom headlight housings Bohannon made using an original 55 as a pattern.
Earlier, I showed you the vintage air kit we're going to use to cool the shoebox down, but in reality, we ordered ours without that condenser, and here's why. We're also going to use this trick radiator assembly that Matson makes, and as you can see, it comes with a radiator and condenser welded together. It also features some prefab lines that run from the condenser up to the compressor. Now, also part of the assembly is this pair of 12-inch electric fans mounted on a shroud. Now, to make this assembly all work, though, we had to get one more thing, and it's this tubular radiator support that Classic Chevy offers. We also got ours with a pair of these stainless steel louvered filler panels.
These twin fans are configured to pull in outside air to the engine. Electric fans free up more horsepower by reducing parasitic drag. Mating the shoebox to the chassis involves a total of 22 mounting locations on the frame and body. By this time, Mike and Joe were getting anxious to see what the new version of the Classic would really look like.
Well, we've been waiting a long time to see this thing pieced all together. Man, what a badass looking shoebox.
Yeah, now